How many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the one. Let's see the fortune cookie. This is says the simplest answer is to act. The simplest answer is to act, it says. The fortune cookie. We must understand how to act, how our illegal natures were never realized to act. Intonation science, a criminal method. In ancient times, religions are demonstrating multi-front cipher to be deciphered, requiring legal natures as evidence fabrication natures, as offensive evidence sequence shifting natures, and as hurt and different natures, and as indifference natures. How this was only realized in relationship to the same with our streets, per sciences. These are not, in other words, for example, in relationship to human standards, through time, through the voice of poverty, the war was lost, the war on poverty. It's not even allowed to admit itself. Today, we lost on many fronts in the American Revolution. So the finite is forced actively, low guises, forcing justifications, insidious, forcing criminal insidiousness. I am not a lawyer, I am not a police former, I am not a criminal. Criminal insidiousness is caused by criminal enterprises, especially by criminally legalized criminal enterprises, through the sciences that only reveal fraud smart. One way is art, not let try, since ancient times. Who try. This one way trains. We correlate, this way it gains to gain the gain. It gains again to gain. This way it trains. We try, religion train. Inherent to religion is this cause. Why? See value, why? Right before Z, why? Right before that is X, why? Extinction. This is ancient. The ancients revealed this science. English is a nature of consciousness correlation system. Humanity is a nature of consciousness correlation system. See why? I'm not a lawyer. I am not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. Psychology delusion propagates. Now we need psychology. Sometimes people have reactions that people think are psychological, but it's often, sometimes it's medical. That's what they said before. I read and seen that on YouTube in various places. People say that sometimes you can have medical conditions you not know it. But what I'm trying to say is that's why we have to get all the corruption that was never charged with the sciences and with psychology that's still active in relationship to the natures of it that have been through time that we know, that we've been odds in relationship to even understanding the motivations for it. There are criminal insidiousness motivations tied to the evilest natures here through time per methods. We can learn a lot if we keep it real and do not ignore the finite with colonization and using terms like criminal enterprise, not in relationship to the surface nations that were extorted just like our founders and the leaders of the colonization before that, but in relationship to real law. The sciences failed, and these natures of business require glorification of them as fraud. Real Real wisdom, ratiocination, removes what it does not know from what it knows. And it grows as value. But only not doing that in relationship to a negative value nature system, which but besides the only one overall is negative value nature system. Why? Because unchanging positive, the nature of positive that is unchanging overall. And this is what's actively in demonstration to us as radicals. What's that mean? As bodies of correlation, as correlation nature between positive and negative. Why? To correlate by what the unchanging space nature's positive nature of positive overall is. It's in demonstration to us. Perspective is a correlation nature in relationship to negative and our positive value discernment. And when you really get into it, it's about correlation. And when you really get into that, it's an active relationship to even dead values. Even dead values. It's an active relationship to Earth because of what is diffusion through it three ways with the Trinity. And with it as a nature beyond it before matter. It was just revealed to teach this. The value A is revealed to teach about the Trinity. Demonstrably used. So then we're going to learn this. So what we need to understand is that when we talk about what's wrong, politics can't save us, and law can't save us unless we force law understood. In other words, if we say, look, too much time went by, these streets, these campuses were forsaken, I'll stay victim. But even when we say this, we have to understand what made it was what stayed with our first losses in the American Revolution for interscience. Every nation fell to this. And how? This is with narratives too that said that Native Americans weren't here before that, etc. So as a game, we need to connect our species, and we have to, in other words, organize to communicate the force. What holds the negative value nature, what holds lies hid, and time and position stayed in relationship to the law. In other words, we're going to call people from the shadows in relationship to the experts, the quote experts, in exploiting all areas differentially, but for the same ends. Just everyone motivations for. We're going to show how there's mass wrongdoers. There are proofs that I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a police form, I'm not a criminal. There are proofs that criminal enterprises cause the existence of wrongdoers that don't understand the criminal enterprise, but they are entertained by it. And then too late, then they have to become in criminal insidiousness natures. Sometimes they become predicate actors. And see, there are also proofs that each of our nations, our nations, every single nation, in other words, if we start disciplining our own nation, talking about how they failed to, in other words, it's a geopolitical campus is the enemy here. Human education, the sciences are the enemy here. If we call it anything else, then we project as fake stability. If we call it anything else, there are proofs of this. English is revealed to teach this. The Campus Marcius was revealed to teach this. Take back the name. Call every lost and found. To regain. We train. Religion, tribe. Religion. Here, religion. Legion. Religion. Good night. Mesalam. Auzu billah. Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. Auzu billah. Bismillah. Mesalam.